60 years ago, President John F. Kennedy visited Salt Lake City for the last time. The Reverend Martin Luther King gave his I Have a Dream speech, and the largest downtown mall in the country was built, then known as ZCMI and now redeveloped into the City Creek Center. At that same time, co-founders Willem Christensen and Glenn Walker Wallace changed the cultural landscape of the country with the creation of Ballet West.
In 1963, the Utah Civic Ballet, later renamed Ballet West, was the only professional ballet company between Chicago and the West Coast. 60 years later, Ballet West has grown to one of America's leading and largest ballet companies. As the first artistic director for Ballet West, Willem Christensen, affectionately known as Mr. C, played a key role in the artistic development of Utah and the nation. Prior to founding Ballet West, Mr. C grew up in Brigham City and then established with his brothers the oldest ballet company in the U.S., the San Francisco Ballet. In 1944, the San Francisco Ballet staged Mr. C's The Nutcracker, the first complete production presented in America, which he then brought with him to Ballet West.
The first performances of Ballet West were held at Kingsbury Hall at the University of Utah before moving to the Capitol Theater in 1978. By 1967, Ballet West began touring the country and received the invitation to appear in Athens, Greece, and various European summer festivals. It was during that time that our name changed to Ballet West and we became the home company of the Western United States.
In 1976, Mr. C handed over the artistic director reins to Bruce Marks, who continued our growth into a major, nationally recognized company and built our company up to 36 dancers, expanded the repertoire with Ballet West's first production of Swan Lake, took the company on tour around the country, including New York's City Center, and presented a significant reconstruction of Auguste Bournonville's semi-lost Abdallah, which got Ballet West on the cover of Dance magazine and its first engagement to Washington, D.C.'s Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts. The Ballet West Orchestra was formed in 1978 and is still one of just a few professional ensembles in the state.
So in 1985, John Hart became the third artistic director of Ballet West. As the former assistant director of the Royal Ballet in London, Mr. Hart brought an English sensibility to the company, introducing the works of Sir Frederick Ashton. He also completed the planned Ballet West premiere of The Sleeping Beauty, which got the company back to the Kennedy Center, and he named the then relatively new name in the world of dance, Val Caniparoli, as resident choreographer for Ballet West. He also played a pivotal role in challenging the dancers with new choreography and encouraging company dancers to create their own choreography. In 1997, Jonas Koga became the fourth artistic director. He brought in to the company's repertoire European choreographers. He expanded our neoclassical and our dramatic repertoire as well. He then took us on the 5-city tour to China for the China Arts Festival. We were the only American company to participate in this.
In 2007, Adam Skloot became the artistic director. Since then, he has commissioned over 80 new works for Ballet West and developed the Innovations series, now known as the Choreographic Festival for up-and-coming choreographers. He has also reworked classics such as Swan Lake, Giselle, The Sleeping Beauty, and The Nutcracker with subtle artistic changes.
When I run into people at the theater or after I get emails or even at intermission, a lot of people just talk about how remarkable it is that a metropolitan area as tiny as Salt Lake can support and sustain a company of this stature and this level, which is really a testament to the community that it is stepping up and is hosting and supporting a company the likes of Ballet West. I also hear about certainly the quality of the productions, the opulence of sets and costumes, the technique of the dancers, and then also just from the community in general, all that we're doing in the schools. And our I Can Do program is it's amazing. They really feel like we're a part of the fabric of the greater Salt Lake community.
In 2015, the Jesse Eccles-Quinney Ballet Center was opened, thanks to the support of many organizations and individuals. In it, the Frederick Quinney Lawson Ballet West Academy is housed. The Academy has 4 campuses, the main one and one more in Salt Lake, one in Park City, and one in Utah County.
Ballet West has records going back to the 1960s of our education programs in schools. Since then, nearly 100,000 students and teachers are reached through Ballet West community and outreach education programs each year. I've had the privilege of working with all 5 Ballet West artistic directors and have had the opportunity to glean something unique from each one of them. After shifting from dancing to a position on the artistic staff as Director of Education, I was also able to join the company when they traveled to Scotland in 2004, taking our outreach programs into Scottish schools. I also had the opportunity to help our academy grow into a nationally recognized training ground for young dancers. It's amazing to see some of those young dancers now dancing in Ballet West.
Adam Skloot added the Family Classic Series in 2012, which is performed by Ballet West 2 and Frederick Quinney Lawson Ballet West Academy students. We even include one performance entirely in Espanol.
You come in, and if you don't speak English, you have the dancers, and you have the sets, and you have the lights, and then you have the costumes. And you cannot speak a word and have an absolute delightful time. So the gift that Ballet West gives to the community is a very great gift, and I'm very proud to be involved.
For 60 years, this Salt Lake City-based company has been bringing great classical ballet, historical masterpieces, and cutting-edge new creations to Utah, the nation, and the world. Join us as we continue to move the company further into the 21st century.